Hello, football lovers. Welcome to Footy Week Podcast, episode 24. My name is Ahis Anthony, and we have come to the last day of the season, 2019-2020 season. Everybody has kept praying for 2020 to just come and go, and the football season has seen the end of 2020, and we await in the next 5 weeks for 2020-2021 season, those two 2020. And we've seen in the Premiership, Liverpool champions, we've seen the guys that got relegated, and we've seen the guys that qualified for the Champions League and the Europa League spot. We could see some teams celebrating the 4th and 3rd position, and also a certain manager celebrating the 6th position with his co-managers as well, his coaching crew. It was unbelievable scene to see today after the last game for the week 38 matches. But I'm not alone. Like I introduced myself earlier, my name is Ahis Anthony. I've got the other co-podcasts with me on today's episode. So we'd like them to introduce themselves. Samiat, take it up from here.
Hi guys, it's Samiat, and we're finally here, final day of the season. We're excited for today's podcast.
Hello guys, it's Mykah once again. It's good to be here. I'm sorry football has ended, but let's get going.
Football has ended. Where?
It's ended.
Yeah, this season, yes, a lot of drama. 2019-2020 season. A lot of talking points to talk about. And I know we've handled some in the previous podcast. This is episode 24. For this season, we've come a long way. Wow. Never knew we could get to episode 24, but we thank God for his mercies. We thank God that we have pushed and we've gotten here for this season, episode 24. I want to thank you guys. I appreciate guys. Samiat, the lady in the house. Mykah joined us not too long ago. Babatunde will be joining us soon as well in the podcast. Chibzo Udoka, our runaway analyst on Footy With Podcast, but we hope to have them soon because they have other business to handle. But it's been a long journey. I really want to appreciate our listeners as well that have chipped in 1 or 2 comments on our social media platforms where these episodes have been deployed on YouTube and on Anchor, and we have a social media platform as well on Twitter, Instagram as well. We get comments, a little comments. Got followers there as well. But we hope to improve next season. And today, last day, we saw the drama. We saw the team that went down. We will be taking our time to analyze what has happened. So let's start from the week 38 games. We saw games that happened. Crystal Palace sharing the spoils with Tottenham 1-1. We saw Leicester City losing to Manchester United, penalty FC 0-2. Am I permitted to say that?
You've said it already.
We saw Arsenal defeating Watford 3-2. Manchester United mauling Norwich City 5-0. I think we saw that coming. We knew that was going to happen. Manchester City mauling Norwich City 5-0. Burnley losing to Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea taking the spoils 3 points, 2-0. They needed a point actually, but they went for 3 points. Defeating Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-0. Everton losing to AFC Bournemouth 1-3. And Newcastle United got thumped by Liverpool, the champions, 3-1. Southampton defeating Sheffield United, the Blades, 3-1. And West Ham United sharing the spoils with Aston Villa. So that leaves us with the table. Liverpool being champions, Manchester City second runner-up, 81 points. And the gulf between the 1st and the 3rd and 4th position, 33 massive points. Someone said that there's social distancing happening at the table. Liverpool is giving social distancing to the other teams. Leicester finishing 5th, Europa League spot 62 points. Tottenham United 59 points. Jose Mourinho celebrating with his coaching crew for finishing 6th. Wolverhampton Wanderers finishing 7th, hoping Arsenal don't win the FA Cup final on on the 1st of August because that would take them off that spot of qualifying for Europa League. And Arsenal finishing 8th. Sheffield United had a wonderful season after coming into the Premier League, finishing 9th, not bad. Burnley 10th. And relegated is AFC Bournemouth, finishing with 34 points. Watford finishing with 34 points. And Norwich City 21 points. Relegated at game week 36, I guess. So how do we start? Should we start from the bottom to the top?
Anyway it comes.
Okay, so let's start with the relegated teams. Norwich, not too much to say. They had a good season. I think the highlight of the season was beating Manchester City 4-1 earlier this season. But the team I would like to talk about is Watford. I really do not understand what happened. Nigel Pearson coming in, and as at game week 36, they were like 6 or 7. They were safe with 3 games to go, and they sacked him. What were they thinking, or what were the management of Watford thinking, guys?
If you ask that question you asked with Watford, everybody has been asking that same question. The decline was massive. Yes, we knew that their former manager wouldn't have done much, but the decline was bad. It was something else. It was appalling. In fact, I didn't expect Villa to still be on 17th position. I don't know if you get me, because Aston Villa and Norwich were the guys who we knew that relegation we are at least 98% sure for them. But as it happened, well, it's football. Watford just started dropping more like I don't understand. I don't understand.
Amiet?
Yeah, like we've said before, we cannot always predict the dynamic of the table. It's always bound to change. There's always bound to be surprises. And Watford, it was just quite the surprising one. They had some shocking results, and at the end of the day, they just had to go.
Well, what really got me thinking was the coach that was sacked had done a good job even after the pandemic. Yes, we saw a whole lot of teams that struggled to get back to where they were, but as of 3 games to go, 4 games to go, they were still safe. They were safe, not until what happened at match week 36 or 37, and you sack the manager because he had not had. Was it a sack or they separated on mutual consent?
Either separation or sack. They are alike. He left. That's the truth. He left. He had to leave. The club was not comfortable with him any longer, despite the fact I knew if he was still there, they would not sink in this bad, because he still had, I think, about 5-6 points above the relegation zone.
Yes.
And he left, and we saw all has been happening.
It still falls back to the importance of leadership, and something the team has had or that they have been used to, and all of a sudden that gets taken away from them, and everything just start rolling and start falling apart. I think we've seen it with some when coaches leave all of a sudden and the team just starts stripping apart and all of that. I think there's this leadership feel that just gets taken away. Yes, all of a sudden. So I think that was what happened with what.
Well, should we be fair on him? Maybe he saw the remaining fixtures. He saw that he had to play. The last game was against Manchester City, and he saw the last 2 games, and he knew there was no way Man City were going to. They know they were going to get beat by Man City. Even Arsenal, they knew Arsenal was on the ascendant. Could it be that he has seen the future? He has seen ahead that regardless of even if I stay, I don't have anything to do here. I still will not get the points that I need. Barring whatever happens to other teams like Aston Villa, because Aston Villa out of 12 points, they've gotten 10 points. They got 10 out of 12 in the last 4 games. Is it that he has seen it all, weighed it all, and said, let me just Let me just take on the high road here and bounce.
No, I actually don't think so. Why I'm saying this is this. For a top manager like himself, those kind of challenges shouldn't put him off. It is that same team that he coached that defeated Liverpool. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, true.
So if that team can beat the current champions, then I don't see who else is going to be a stumbling block, except there is something missing in the team that nobody can explain. First of all, you talked about the leadership. We know Troy Deeney is their captain,
your club captain.
At some point, yes. Before the restart of before the restart, we knew, or media carried it, that he didn't want to return because of his fear of the pandemic. First of all, I don't want to use that as an excuse for him not leading the team. Time went by, he started dropping out of games. He was not starting. I don't know if you understand that.
Yeah, so, even when he started, he was being substituted.
Yes, he was being substituted. It was now. I now felt it's not like the Watford of last season. If you saw Watford of last season and you saw the energy that that Deeney had in that team, you know, yes, they have a fighter. But as time went by, after the restart, you saw they were just filling in the gap. That's what they were doing in the Premier League, because the decline was something else. Even West Ham, we are close to relegation. Aston Villa, we are already in relegation. Brighton, we are close to relegation. These guys had to fight.
Yeah, they fought their way out.
They had to fight. They had to fight their way out of this. But instead of Watford fighting, they were just declining and dropping. So I think something is missing in the entire club, starting with the players, the manager, the board, and everything. Something there is missing and has to be fixed if they want to get back into the Premier League by next season.
Samiet, you have something to say?
No, I don't have anything to add. I think Mykah covered it all. There's no predicting what might happen in the future. We have seen some some teams shock the big teams. I don't think that's an excuse that he foresaw the future or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, like I said in our last podcast, that if you want to the relegation team, when they face the big team at this point, even the big team should be scared because they are hungry, they are fighting. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So that I don't think foreseeing the future, if they add the fight in them, then it's something that they could have pulled through. But I think maybe they all gave up on themselves, and we saw the results of all of that.
You know, because looking at their last 5 games, they won the fifth, like they won the 33rd game, which is week 33. They won 34, and I think it was just the week 34, 35, the week 36 that he lost, and that was what got him out of the job. But Watford last season they finished 10th, but they finished 11th, and it's so appalling to see how they've plummeted and getting relegated this season. We wish them the best in the championship. Hope they come back and come and enjoy Premier League football. So looking at the other guys, AFC Bournemouth finishing 18, 34 points, same points with Watford, Eddie Howe, promising manager. Bournemouth stayed 5 years in the Premier League. The last time they got promoted was 5 seasons ago. Should we say they've had this season? This season has just been so tough because they couldn't maintain the form they had in previous seasons. You know, beating the big teams. You know, getting points, going away, winning games. This season have just been so poor for them. What's your take, guys?
I think on a general scale, like this season was not easy for everybody like that. I know it's the Premier League and all of that, but I think we saw some shocking results here and there. But this season there were a lot of people that were fighting, Sheffield, Wolves, and the likes. They were fighting, they were putting in the work and all of that. So some people have to pay. It's just Burnley too. They were fighting, Southampton. Nobody was playing around. So there is always bound to be people that get to pay for all of that. So this season was an exciting one. So I'm not surprised. I don't think I'm surprised, but good luck to them.
Yeah, I agree with Samiat on this. Well, it's actually my point here is it's the Premier League. In the Premier League, nothing should surprise you. I can remember at the beginning of season, Leicester City thumping a team 9-0 or something.
Yeah, it was the season.
I can't remember when last that happened in the Premier League. So it's one of those it's one of those surprises you
Even
can
Norwich at the beginning of the season,
Yes.
they were just like, they know
I
which want to
remember.
win.
Pookie.
Yeah.
Pookie, and all of a sudden,
So
just all went
it's
down.
the surprise of the Premier League. So anything can happen. The only thing, or I wouldn't say it's the only prayer. It shouldn't be a prayer actually. You should put in more than enough energy into this. You have to survive one thing, and the only thing you have to survive is relegation in the Premier League. It's not fun going into the Championship where you play over 40 matches and try to come back. Those who have gone have not found it easy coming back. Leeds United, who just came back, have done 16 years without seeing the Premier League. So it's not.
It took a long time.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So as I was saying, it's the Premier League. Bournemouth is unfortunate to have actually fallen to this. Last season they were good. I can remember they beat Chelsea, and not just beat Chelsea, they beat Chelsea very well. So I don't know. They were just unfortunate. Today they fought, but unfortunately, it didn't just come there. Sunderland did it some years ago.
And they have been fighting their last few matches. They have been fighting.
Everybody have been. Aston Villa, we had the surprise.
Yeah,
this season they had the surprise. Aston Villa.
I felt for Bournemouth, their undoing was the pandemic. You know, coming back from the pandemic, I think they didn't really get into full gear for the remaining games. Imagine looking at the games they won in total this season. They've won 9 games, they've drawn 7, and they've lost 22 games. Brighton and Hove Albion too has won 9 games, they've drawn 14 but lost 15. So that's the difference. Looking at West Ham that finished 16 too, they just won only 10 games. You know, so it's so yeah. The Premier League, like we all know, is so competitive. If you don't win, if you're not there, if you're not ready, there's another team behind you ready to take your spot. And it's so unfortunate for Eddie Howe, because we knew how he has been tagged as one of the promising managers in the Premier League, and at one time he was touted to take over Arsenal when Emery was fumbling at Arsenal. But we thank God Arsenal didn't sign him, because it would have been a disaster.
That's the bullet.
Arsenal dodged that bullet, man. Really. It's not been disaster. Yeah, the voice you heard was Tunde. Tunde has joined us on the podcast. Yes, we hope to hear more of him when it comes to Manchester United. I know he'll be ready to talk.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know this.
You already know.
Okay, so moving up. There's nothing to talk about the mid-table. We know Southampton, Everton too had a poor season with all the acquisition, the money spent. Could we say we should give them time? Because they spent a lot of money.
Please.
Signing the Iwobi £40 million, signing Moses Kean from Juventus, and signing this other guy. What could have been in that team as well? Yeah, they did a couple of signings, and it's not so good seeing them finishing 12th, winning 13 games. Too bad.
They had Ancelotti.
Yeah, well, Ancelotti came in December, so let's just.
And it's not a magician.
Yeah, come
No,
on.
he's not. He's not.
We didn't expect him to do that much. Couple with the type of players. With all due respect to Everton, we know the kind of players that are there are not players that can, do the extraordinary. In terms of quality, they're not compared to the likes of Liverpool or Manchester City, because the two teams seems to be the very best this season. Let's give it to the two teams rather, Liverpool and Manchester. They've been outstanding, and the other 18 teams have just failed to be competitive this season. So we hope to see a more competitive Premier League next season. So we start from the 8th position, which is Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal. Let's look into Arsenal. You saw how Arsenal started. Yes, you saw how Arsenal started the season. Unai Emery had a good first season. just last few matches where he needed to gain qualification for Champions League, bottled it. Went to the Europa League, bottled it. I think that was when we saw the decline coming in. Started the new season, games that should have been won. He had a lot of draws, even at the Emirates. You saw what happened in the team. You know, Shaka losing it, giving the fans the F sign, the middle finger sign, telling them, making gestures to them to keep shouting. We saw how Emery lost the dressing room. And we saw Arteta coming in, taking over, trying to bring back Arsenal to where they belong. And we saw the yo-yo performance. Do this week, you're good. Next week, you fumble. Games that you should win. And again, another thing I noticed, ever since Arteta took over Arsenal, the amount of red cards Arsenal has received has really gone up. I think they've received close to 6 red cards or 5 red cards. And the level of cards they've gotten, a couple of matches that have gone down to 10 men against Crystal Palace, against Chelsea, against Manchester City, against this other team, is it Sheffield United? Going down, receiving red cards, it's unimaginable. But looking at Arsenal, what is your take on Arsenal? Please take out the cap of your team on your head right now while we're trying to analyze Arsenal. And let's analyze critically.
Sammy, after you, I'll continue.
No, you take the lead. You take the lead.
All right. Well, Arsenal had 14 wins, 14 draws, and 10 losses. So they balanced their books with 14 wins and 14 draws. So I don't see about Arsenal. I remember at the beginning of the season, I was talking to some Arsenal fan friends, in fact family actually, who are actually telling us, oh, this is going to happen, that will happen, and so actually so many things happened. But the good thing there is, at least they made the top 10.
Okay.
Now let's leave banter aside. Now let me talk Arsenal. Since they brought in Arteta, since he replaced Emery, there's what I know Arsenal is actually lacking is a commanding leader. Understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying
is a leader on the pitch or a leader in the dressing room.
Both on and off the pitch. That is in the dressing room and on the pitch. Like Lampard was saying, I'm sorry, I'm taking back to Lampard. Lampard was saying that what the Chelsea team lacks is a vocal leader, somebody who can carry the team. Like the days where we used to have Henry in the team, Vieira in the team.
Yep.
You had leaders. Yeah. These were guys who are ready to change the course of a game. So what Arsenal actually lacked this particular season is that leader. That's not just the leader, a commanding leader. Somebody who...
I mean, it's not just Arsenal. On that point, Chiamaka,
Yeah, it goes wrong.
every team is lacking it. There are only two left. And you can you can pinpoint those players. You have Sergio Ramos in Real Madrid. You have I can't call PK a commanding presence on the pitch.
He's not. No.
So there are only a select few left. Man
few.
City lost their own. Man United lost their own way back. Arsenal have lost theirs way back.
Chelsea
lost theirs since Lampard and Terry. So we don't have those players anymore. We have people that are influenced by social media.
Social media
that are interested in what the media is saying. Players that can fire managers. Those are the players that we have today. So the presence of the person, a commanding leader on the field, that's completely out of it at this point. I don't see anything that has that presently, and I don't see one that you say, oh, this person is being groomed to be
one. Yeah.
It's not present today. You have players that are, I mean, their position, the position and the job of the player is more important than the position and the job of the manager. So why should a player stand up or speak up when he knows that whether he gives it 100% or not, he's going to get his pay the following week or the week and the week after that and the week after that. So at this moment in time in football, it doesn't seem like there's a need for that presence. Just come together, play, and whatever the result is, if you have the desire, the passion, the fire, like Liverpool, even Liverpool that just won the league, I don't see that commanding presence, that commanding leader on the team.
No, they don't have that commanding. No,
but they had a manager who was very vocal, a manager that was passionate, a manager that drive the whole team. That was what Liverpool had, and that's what they won the league.
No, I would disagree with you on that. Liverpool has a Jordan Henderson.
Please, let's don't go there, man. Come on, let's don't go there. Let's don't go there. I am going to. No way, man.
How many games did Henderson play this season?
I don't know.
Henderson speak up.
I don't expect
on the field or outside the field.
No, I don't have to agree with you. No, listen.
Henderson is not the commanding leader that you think he is.
Listen, let me make.
So let's give him the point. Let's give him the opportunity to make his point. Well, listening.
Henderson this season had less games on the pitch. I don't know if you understand.
Okay.
But I was reading. I was not reading. I was watching some of Liverpool FC's videos behind the scene.
Okay.
And there is something that since you don't have on the pitch, off the pitch, you get it. Henderson, why I'm telling you Henderson, and what actually is moving me to say this is because one, we know the only time that Virgil van Dijk talks or is saying something is when they are under pressure. But Henderson, the work Henderson does is off the pitch. In the dressing room, he has a say. I want you to understand that.
Okay.
Because we are not seeing it on the pitch, because he's not playing, doesn't mean that he's not doing all these things. I want you to get me. I can remember John Terry's last season in Chelsea. He had less games being played. But the job of John Terry during that season, as Antonio Conte said, was handling the dressing room.
Okay.
There's this motivation that your leader would give you, and you will go and fight. He's not there doesn't mean you will not fight. I want you to get that. He might not be commanding on the pitch because he's not there, but off the pitch, he has the work he's doing.
Well,
so Liverpool had that advantage this.
Okay, but I understand the point you're trying to make, Mykah. I get you, but in terms of Arsenal, let's still focus on Arsenal, and I understand the point today is trying to make as well. That the type of footballers we see nowadays is different compared to the footballers we watched in the mid 2000 to the 2010, where on the pitch they show it. But now social media is the order of the day. Look at the rancor that happened in Arsenal just because Unai Emery couldn't stamp his authority as a coach during the course of the season. At the beginning of the season, you needed to pick a captain and you were telling players to be voting for your captain, for a player to be captain. So, all the opera and such a thing. And when it comes to voting, I have my issues with voting. Because human interference, human manipulation, politics will come into it. It is who is favorable. You give that position to. Aubameyang was voted for the captain. Apparently, Unai Emery wanted Xhaka to be his captain. It was all glaring to see. But he didn't have the balls. Am I permitted to say that in this podcast? Okay. He didn't have the balls. He didn't have the cojones, to choose Xhaka as his captain. And you told the players to vote for your captain. And all of them voted for Aubameyang. So that was where the decline started. That was where Unai Emery lost the dressing room, and that was where this whole opera of Arsenal getting it wrong behind the scene started, and that was what toppled their season negatively. I understand the point you coming from. So if I'm to hold your perspective or your narrative, yes, if Arsenal had the players that are vocal, players that have the leadership qualities behind the scene, possibly the story would have been different. And what Tunde is trying to say, players that you have nowadays are players that are not vocal, that don't have that leadership skills. All of them are influenced by social media. Maybe Liverpool is lucky to have Henderson because, yes, we see most of what he does, even outside the pitch, the way he shouts, the way he motivates the players. Possibly Liverpool are lucky to have that. But in Arsenal, do we have that type? Those kind of players? No.
It's a big no.
Yeah.
It's a big no.
Yeah.
For the fact you are voting to get your captain. I'm sorry, you've lost it from the beginning. In fact, you've lost the entire game.
That is it.
You've lost the entire. For the fact you are voting to get your captain. No. It shouldn't be heard of. you as the manager should have somebody. And again, if you realize something, I want to make I would refer down to West Ham. Do you guys realize that Declan Rice happened to captain West Ham United?
Well,
have you guys noticed that?
No, I haven't noticed that.
Okay, good. I will tell why I'm saying this is this. Declan Rice has actually been one of the motivating factors that pushed West Ham to remaining in the Premier League this season. He's very vocal, he's very commanding, and that's why they gave him the captain's band. I don't know if you understand that. So this is somebody who probably, yes, he has learned over the years, and he has seen senior players who have done that, who have commanded the dressing room. This is a player who understands what his coach wants. But in Arsenal, I'm sorry, for you to vote to get a captain is wrong in the first place. It means the coach doesn't have confidence in his own selection. So It means they are going to vote for practically everything.
Yeah, and there was the issue of the language barrier. The English, he wasn't communicating, Communication was another key aspect. The players making jest of the coach because, Spanish, the way they pronounce B, they pronounce it as V.
Yeah.
And, it was all glaring. And, this season really didn't start well for Arsenal. And the management too it took them a while before they could make the decision. Everything went bad. Everything went south for Arsenal. As of December, Arsenal was on 10th position and 9th position, 22 points after 19 games after 19 games. I knew it was over, and I knew any coach coming in would have to work his boots out, would have to do the impossible. Ljungberg stepped in for like 3 games. We saw what happened. The only game he won was against West Ham away, and Arteta coming in. But let's just critically look at it. Arteta, we mentioned this in our previous podcast, blueprints for next season. Do we see Arteta? Do we see the management backing him up with the kind of players that he wants? Seeing that Arsenal still have just one hope left to go into Europe next season. That's winning the FA Cup, and I know it's not going to be easy. Chelsea wouldn't want to let it go. So what's the way forward for Arsenal?
Samuels.
Something just went off.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work to be done as a team collectively. Then outside the field, then on the field too, there's a lot of work to be done. Arsenal has a lot of proving to do within themselves, and they have a lot of things to do to claim that we are still in this, and it's going to take a lot of work. They are not going to European next season, well, unless they win the FA Cup, which won't come easy. And if it happens that they don't go to Europea, I'm not seeing the management dropping. Well, I don't know the financial capability at the moment. They need some reinforcement and to come back and stake their claim. If they don't get some of those backings, it's going to be a tough season for Arsenal next season. Arteta cannot perform. He cannot pull a dove out of his hat and perform magic. It won't work like that. I hope he gets his backing and some financial funding.
Tunde has something to say.
Oh yeah.
Because he unmuted immediately.
Well, first off, Arsenal don't have the not like Arsenal don't have the vocal leader. Arsenal, they actually do, and that's Xhaka. Arsenal need to believe in that guy and let him be the captain, let him be the leader of the men on that team. I believe he can do it because he already does it for his country. Arteta, I don't think Arteta needs a whole season for us to properly assess him. We saw this from Solskjaer last January when he took over from Mourinho. The team went unbeaten for the longest. They sent PSG miraculously out of Champions League. All that funny stuff happened. Season started, and then we started seeing the whole bang.
He came back to
now,
earth.
with a full season under his belt, we can see and we know his flaws. We know what he's trying to do. We know his philosophy. we have a full idea, full understanding of what he wants or what he wants to do. That's the same thing we need with Arteta. We need to give him a whole season and start, and that's going to be next season. It's going to be this summer is going to be difficult in acquisition of players. I don't know if Arsenal still has the financial resources, like Samuel was saying, to bring in big names, especially with the amount of money they spent on Pepe. So I don't know that they'll be able to. But I mean, anything can change within the next few months. But he needs, I believe with all my heart, that he needs a whole season to get to work. I mean, we're talking about a success story in Lampard. It's simply because Lampard had that full season in Chelsea.
Yeah.
We're able to see him from start to finish. Yes, with limited resources, but he made the best use of what he had. Like, he made I don't even know what to say. He made the best of the best use with what he had. So, but it all comes back to the fact that he had that full season with these players. And that's what Arteta needs before we can assess where his plan can take Arsenal to or anything. But with what we've seen so far, if we're to judge him by what we've seen so far, it looks like he's like Arsenal is heading in the right direction in terms of youth and youth and technical ability, if I may put it that way. I say technical ability because of the likes of Ceballos, the way he has used Ceballos and this Cedric
Suarez. Yep.
Cedric Suarez. I think that was, at least in the last few games, it's been brilliant. So if we're to go by what we've seen so far, it's going to be a very tough team to beat next season. It's going to be a very tough manager to beat next season, and he needs time. I think we need that one full season from Arteta before we can properly assess or judge.
And that's coming from a Manchester United fan. Isn't that so lovely? So apt. Well, I feel I have to second what Tunde said. Give him a full season, and he should master his trade. First job, yes. Lampard, first full season with Chelsea. Nobody gave him that opportunity. Nobody saw that coming. Even when most people saw that when Lampard took over Chelsea, they were like, "Oh, Chelsea is not going to finish. Chelsea won't finish in the top 4. It's going to be the same way, old story. He's going to get sacked," and he has proved a lot of people wrong. So let's just switch over to Chelsea from Arsenal. It's going to be a wonderful season for Lampard if he gets to win the FA Cup next week, finishing in the top 4 and winning a trophy, FA Cup, for your first year as a full-time manager of the club, which you were a legend. Did we see Lampard finishing in the top 4 when he took over beginning of the season?
Nope.
I didn't.
I like the sincerity. Come on, Chimamaka, how?
I'll be very frank with you, I did.
Yeah, we're listening. You know, you have your Chelsea cap on right now, so we're listening.
Yes, I did. Why I'll say so is this. Why I did have that faith in him is because I did not want to see below 4th position.
No, you had the faith. You had the faith in him.
You said
being a coach. You had the faith in him being a coach.
That's total belief. So
did you have the faith? Did you have the faith in him finishing 4th?
I had faith that Man U will win the league. Right? We had
your faith and mine are two different.
Spend money on my but then there's the reality that hits you after a few games, and you're like,
good.
Yeah.
Now you are talking. I like what you said, because at the beginning of season, when the 4-0 something came in after Manchester United.
Exactly. You can't say you saw your team becoming top 4 after that first game.
After that first game, I started having doubts, because I watched the Liverpool match. That was the Super Cup. I watched the Liverpool match. I realized that there was he had good gameplay. So I believed, okay, with this kind of game, you can do good. I was convinced. We lost the game, no doubt. We came into Man U game, and it was a different ball game entirely. I started having second thoughts. Yeah, exactly. It was something else. Then the second game came in. I started seeing improvements. The third game came in. I started seeing, there were different changes. And I felt, since this guy can do this thing, I could remember he stayed in the top 4 for a while. And with that, you cannot be a Chelsea fan and say you see yourself going to drop. I don't know if you get me. So
yeah, we get you.
Yes, he had that goal that he was given, or the target he was given to make the top 4. How you do it, you just have limited resources. Let's not forget that Chelsea even lost their best player to Real Madrid.
Yeah, Eden Hazard.
So then I'll be very frank with you. At some point I started having doubts that we would not make the top 4. But the belief as a Chelsea fan was, man, you can do this, you can do this. I was actually self-motivating myself and motivating the team one way or the other. But at the long run, well, 4th is not a bad start, man.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, Lampard winning 20 games. Chelsea won 20 games, drew 6 and lost 12. You know, just shows how funny this season is. Because losing 12 games and you're still making the top 4, wow. Because the condition then was the max you can lose for you to make top 4 was just 10 games. And now we see a team losing 12 games and still making the top 4. And also finishing on the same points with the 3rd position. We need to give it for Lampard. So we move straight to Ole. Yes, finishing top 4.
No. They didn't finish the same point with 3rd, though. They didn't finish the same point with 3rd. Like, we had one more point than they, right?
No, it's 6-6.
How?
It's 6-6.
66 points.
No.
It's 66 points.
They won.
No.
Both points is 66. Both teams are tied on 66. It's just a goal difference. Man United, have superior goal difference than Chelsea, and that's part of where Chelsea needs to work on in terms of their defense. It needs to get in good defenders, because it's like a yo-yo performance for them. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. And next season, with everybody stepping up, that might not work for you.
Yeah, they'll have to beef up the defense. The defense actually has been the headache this season. Both central defense, left wing back, the goalkeeper himself. Man, they need a revamp of that defense.
Highest goal scorer in Europe, Kepa.
In Europe,
yeah.
Kepa. So you understand. So that kind of thing. When you start hearing things like that, you're like, man, is that Chelsea considering 50-something goals in a season? No.
It was serious. 54 goals. Wow.
It's no joke.
Even considered more than Arsenal, with Arsenal's defense being shitty, man. So crazy. And I think it was a bold move from Lampard today, benching Kepa and starting.
He had done that before. He just had
against
Well, to be fair on the other guy, what's his name? The second goalkeeper. He has been fielding him in FA Cup matches. He had his share in FA Cup matches, but it was a bold move against Wolves, where he needed a point not to lose to qualify for Champions League. I think it's like a dress rehearsals for him for the FA Cup final. What do you guys think?
No, for Caballero, he's been the goalkeeper taking on FA Cup matches.
Yes, that's what I said. Yeah.
I want us to get that. So if he's going to still remain in goal for the final, wonderful. Actually, I would personally prefer Caballero to be in goal.
That's what I'm saying. Like today's game.
It's actually even better.
Today's game.
Yeah, it was like a warm up.
Like was like a warm up for the FA Cup final.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
For Manchester United, winning 18 games in the entire season, drawn 12 and lost 8, scored 66, considered 36. I think the £75 million was worth it. The 80 million pounds was worth it. Which one? How much for Maguire? 75, 80? I'm sorry, what was the right figure? 80, yes.
80 million.
And also Wan-Bissaka. I think it really showed up Manchester United defense this season compared to the number of goals they let in last season. The number of goals they considered this season is lesser than what they considered last season. And like Tunde mentioned, I think with that Bruno Fernandes signing, it was the last. It was just the last. Just what Ole needed to just close up that is formation or what he's trying to. Yeah. Yes, I was looking for that phrase, the last jigsaw on the puzzle, And we see how fantastic Bruno Fernandes is. Yes, we saw that he had declined a bit in the last 3 games, but he's just fantastic. And I want to bring it out. We've seen less of Igalo. What's going on? We need to be worried.
He's returning back to China. That's all that we have to know. And go back to China.
I honestly don't even know at this point. I wish Igalo would stay. I mean, his contract is still up until January next year. But I wish we would I wish we would have played Igalo more than he currently did. But again, I think Ole has something in his head that's making him make all the type of choices and decisions that he's making. Like there are some games, I think 2 games ago or so, where he made only 3 subs, and there was one where he made 2. And I don't know whether he's forgetting about the subs or if he's trying to prepare for the coming season or if he's trying to try 1 or 2 things out. I'm not sure, but I think that's playing a huge part into why he hadn't featured Igalo more than he currently has. I wish Igalo would stay, not just to help those young boys, but to also contribute as much as he can other ways to the club. But hey, I would like to have a more prolific striker. I would like to have a Hurricane, a Aubameyang. I would like to have one of those big name strikers in the team also.
So yeah, it's good you mentioned Hurricane. So we just look at Tottenham Hotspur finishing 6th, and we saw the way Jose Mourinho and his coaching crew celebrated today after the draw with Crystal Palace 1-1 at Selhurst Park. Isn't that embarrassing from Jose Mourinho celebrating 6th position?
Jose Mourinho is a dramatic human being. You can't expect anything from him. He's just drama himself. He has said it before that he does not value the European League, but if he has to qualify for it, he has to go all in, and he has done, and he qualified. So he brought a bit of drama and spice. That's just Jose Mourinho 101. I always expect extra from Mourinho, extra.
I wouldn't want to say it's drama actually. If you look at where he brought the team from, it's not drama. I'll be very very open on this. It's not drama. We know where Spurs were before he took over, and he's been having challenging games. Let's not forget he lost his striker before the lockdown or before the pandemic. The closure of then the restart. He had the pandemic to go and heal, and he came back and started banging in goals. So for Jose Mourinho, yes, even after the restart, he still lost some games. So I won't see it as drama. I believe because one thing about Mourinho, with every club I realize he has actually coached in, he actually gives himself a target, or maybe they give him a target to meet, and whenever he meets that, I feel it's a success story for him.
Well, he
has every right to.
Let's just cut the chase. Do you see Mourinho winning a trophy for Tottenham? Do we see that happening?
In the next 2 years, if he's still there.
Okay, man. Good.
What, a friendly trophy?
What do you mean? It's not Emirates Cup.
I don't see Mourinho. Let me not say I don't see Mourinho, because Mourinho has won pretty much everything that there is to win. I don't see Tottenham team. That team, like they have, dude. Have you seen that squad?
Yeah.
The midfielder in that team is Harry Winks. Think about that. Harry Winks.
Thought about it.
After the spending money on Dombele.
It's why I said 2 years. He has 2 years to do that. He can bring about change in 2 years. Not
dude, he can spend 3 years on that team. If they don't buy right, they don't invest the right money, it's going to be all a waste. We'll be talking about him like we talk about Everton, or like we talk about West Brom 10 years ago or so. So they have to invest money in that team. They have to buy it right.
With the financial, with the financial situation of Tottenham, I don't see that happening, because they've invested a lot of money in their new stadium. Where is that money going to come from? And I see another Mourinho happening, another Mourinho walking away when the management don't give him what he wants. Because I don't see where, with the whole pandemic, they've not made money out of that stadium. The last couple of games, fans have not been able to go into the stadium. So where has the club made money from? So it's going to be a big task
It's
for
gonna be a
Tottenham.
huge
Yeah,
task for Tottenham to win anything.
yeah,
Because any competition that they're in, mind you, we are going into a new season. Everybody's going to invest money.
yeah.
Or even if they don't invest money, teams invested last season. Inter Milan have invested a lot of money. That's why I'm grateful that Man U were able to qualify for Champions League today. But Inter Milan are only, I don't know if Juventus won today or if Juventus has won their match.
No, they've not
Inter Milan are
started.
only
Their
4
match
points.
is just.
It's just started. Yeah.
They are 4 points behind Liverpool. Behind Juventus right now. Which means if Juventus mess up in the next 3 games, Inter can actually win the league. Inter is still in Champions. They are still in Europa League. They are definitely going to Champions League next season. That's just one. Every team in Europe beefed up their team. What's his name? The good evening. I can't remember his name right now.
Unai Emery.
La Real now. Unai Emery.
Good
Yeah.
In Europa League too. So everybody in Europe this season or next season are going to be ready to do stuff.
You're ready to do stuff.
So I
Yeah,
don't
invest.
think,
Yeah.
they have to invest right, and I don't see Tottenham spending that money.
Where does that leave Hurricane?
Hurricane has to leave.
Hurricane,
That's why I like
yeah,
to
exactly.
buy.
I see Hurricane leaving. I don't see him doing 2 years in Tottenham as it stands because of the financial
Standpoint of
problems.
Tottenham. Yeah.
Because first, I don't see him staying. I don't see him remaining. And I
If
also
he stays there another
only
year,
remaining.
if he stays there past another year, he will turn to Vardy. Nobody will want him again. He will just continue to depreciate.
You know, looking at this from another point, looking at this from another.
I was for real leaving.
Well, looking at it from another point of view, if the pandemic hadn't happened, Tottenham's season would have been woeful. We all agree to that. Because I think the pandemic gave them
Yeah.
A lot of teams.
Yeah.
A lot of teams would have finished woefully.
yeah.
I think the pandemic gave a lot of people breathers to just get their
acts together.
themselves right. Yeah.
And I think the pandemic too was not a good thing for some teams as well. Case in point, Sheffield United,
Exactly.
they were fantastic, looking at making the top 4 or making the top 6. And after the pandemic, they came back and it wasn't the same Sheffield United that we all saw or that we all knew. So, Liverpool, crown champions, 99 points. Man City beating everybody 5-0, 4-0. I think they were just preparing for the Champions League. That's where Man City are. Scoring 102 goals, conceding 67.
Highest in Europe this season.
No, conceding
At the
35.
moment.
Sorry, yes, conceding 35. It's gonna be a great season next season. It's going to be great. It's going to be more competitive. And talking about the Premiership, so Leeds United gained promotion into the Premier League after 16 years. Tunde's second team. Tunde loved that team very well. They gained promotion. They fought hard. Marcelo Bielsa, it's good to have him. Premier League is going to be interesting next season, really.
Yeah.
We're coming with the best right back in the world, Luke Ayling. We're coming with rejected. I don't know why we
managers in the world.
Yeah.
The best manager in the world with the best fans that you've ever seen anywhere in the history of the whole wide world. Yeah, we're coming, and we're not coming silent. We're coming to
Leeds
make
is
a back.
coming back.
Sunday note. I would really appreciate it if you come and don't go back immediately.
Don't worry,
The
we're not
Premier
going
League
back.
That would be very
the
important.
Premier League is a respecter of no man.
We are not going
Let's know
anywhere.
that.
We are not going anywhere.
All right.
We'll do whatever we
welcome
need
to
to
the
do.
Premier.
We'll stick.
So,
Thank you.
so with Leeds United gaining promotion into the Premier League, so that leaves Manchester United having to play a lot of derbies next season.
Oh yeah.
Because Manchester United seems to be the enemy of everybody. You have Liverpool to play. It's a derby. You have Manchester City to play.
They have Leeds United.
You have Leeds United to play.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of their derby because I know it's a derby between Leeds United and Manchester United.
Yeah.
And also your arch rivals, which are Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal. I think Manchester City have a hell of a season next season, man. And you guys need to brace up because it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just like this season. We ended up third. Things can happen.
Ended up
when Man U make seats up there somehow, people need to appreciate that club. Just with a little more, call us with a little respect.
Bring in the salt and spice.
Today I dropped something on Twitter today that you commented on, and I told you at the end. I said there are some results or there are some teams that you expect some results from. I don't know if you get me. Now, if I said it, I tweeted, I said it would have been a shame if this Manchester United squad didn't make the top 4 after the amount of money they made. I didn't say that out of the fact that other teams also invested. No, it's the name. There is an umbrella covering that name. It's Manchester United. I want you to get that.
United, you have people like Lingard playing for the Manchester United.
Oh, Lingard goes today.
It's Manchester United. It is still Lingard. Even if you have a toddler playing.
They have people like Phil Jones on the team.
You have Jones on the team.
It's Manchester United. Let's get to understand that. It's Manchester United. Either you like it or not, it is Manchester United. Now it's left for Manchester United to go and buy Sergio Ramos, go and buy Kalidou Koulibaly, go and buy those names. I don't know if you get. It is still Manchester United. So, next season is going to be wonderful. It's going to be awesome. Many battles to fight.
Yeah, so many battles for Manchester United. So many battles. So many derby. And latest information that we got during the week is the next season, 2020-2021 season, will resume September 12th up until May 24th. Isn't it too early? Or are they trying to still stay in between the normal calendar?
They had 3 months of serious break. Let's get back to watching football.
Yeah, because from now to September 12th is 5-week difference, which you mentioned earlier in the podcast. So it seems teams ain't going to go for break. They ain't going to go for any break because the Champions League is still there. The Europa League is still there within 16 days. And after 16 days in August, I think Champions League starts August 8th, right?
Yeah.
It starts 8th, so 16 days, 24, that's August 24th. August 24th from September 12th is like 2 weeks. Or 3 weeks.
So they have. I from what I was able to bring out of or able to read, players are going to be having 2 weeks break. I think either 2 weeks break 2 weeks break. Then they come back to preseason before. And again, let's not forget in the Premier League there is this Community Shield we play.
Yeah.
Before I don't think it's going to be holding as expected, or it might be holding against the winners of the championship team.
Okay.
Not just because of the time frame at which teams will have to rest.
Well, we'll get to.
I don't know if you get that.
We'll get to that type. We'll get to that point and see what they have to give us. And also, yes, we need to discuss this on the podcast before we round off today's episode. Jordan Henderson named Football Writers Association Player of the Year award. Yes, I knew we had our back and forth on the WhatsApp group where when the news broke out and we saw it, Mykah seems to be of the opinion, yes, Jordan Henderson is worth it. And I was reading an article today based on why he won it, and what came to fore was his contribution during the pandemic, what he was able to do, and XYZ. And the question came to my head: do you give such an award of such magnitude to a player based on off the pitch antics or off the pitch capability? Such award is shrouded with the ability or what the player has done on the pitch, not off the pitch. So I want us to just look at it. What was that fair? Was Jordan Henderson really worth being the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year for 2019-2020 season? I have my opinion, but I'll let you guys share.
I don't know what Jordan Henderson did, right? But what you just said makes a lot of sense as to why Rashford is included in that list.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Made
yeah,
a
true.
whole lot of sense as
True.
to why Rashford is on that list. Because I do not see. I'm so Chiamaka. I don't know what you see that we don't see. Henderson, football wise, unless we were watching the back of our TV that didn't have color. Football wise, whether he's on the bench or whether he's doing.
He does not.
Let me point out something. There's coach side. There's a bench coach. You saw that when Portugal won Euros. Ronaldo got injured.
Yeah.
Was on the sideline.
Yes.
Coaching the players, encouraging them, spurring them on. I did not see that from Henderson. Not one game. So if you're telling me that he deserved the player of the year, I don't think he did it. I don't think he deserved it. But if it is based on what they did during the pandemic, okay, I can accept that. But not
Okay, I'll
not for those that played this year.
Now, why I would pick Henderson? Hold on. If I was going to give anybody that award, in fact, those on that list, those who made the short list, I would have removed like 4 of them and left just one person. But I was working with that short list. Now, the Liverpool we're talking about are current winners, EPL champions. According to what Anthony said, I have not read that article, but from what you said that you read on the article, it's only talked about his off the field contribution. I don't know if you
Which is
understand
what
that.
makes
I'm going to share the article for you guys to read.
why Rashford can be on that
That's
list.
what
Rashford has
exactly
no business
because
being the top 10
on
player
that list.
this season.
Exactly. So that's why
Rashford
now,
doesn't have any business. But if Rashford is among
Anthony
top
to have
5,
said that.
it has to deal with something that they did off the field, which
Off
makes
the
it
pitch.
acceptable
God bless
to
you.
me, because
Now,
it doesn't have
you did
anything
not-
to do with what they did on the
You
field.
did not get that. You did not get that on the group because you didn't have this information. I don't know if you get me. If you are going to rate anybody who won that, the person anybody who was supposed to win that award on the pitch, Henderson does not fall into that category. I don't know. The only person you will give there is Kevin De Bruyne. He's the only person there's no competition. I don't know if you get no competition for that. But I believe that they gave this award for off the pitch contributions. For Rashford to be on that list.
So the question
Which makes perfect sense.
No, I understand all this, but the question I want to ask is this Football Writers Association award. We've had subsequent ones that they've given to players, right? So that it doesn't look as if I'm the only one being odd here. So, and there had been what's the word? There had been reasons or statistics or the reason behind why you vote for a particular player being the Football Writers Association of the Player of the Year for that season. So why did it have to change this season? Why did it have to change?
It's just one answer. It's one answer.
Why?
COVID-19 happened.
Oh, jeez.
COVID-19 happened. Yes.
Okay, because COVID-19 happened. Sorry, Simon. Because COVID-19 happened. Why didn't they give the league to Arsenal? Because Arteta had coronavirus.
No, they won't give it to us now because show has coronavirus.
You make a bad point.
Come on, I'm not gonna take that.
Real, man.
I'm not gonna take that, man. I'm not gonna take that.
COVID-19 happened. Hold on.
Yeah.
Why I said coronavirus happened? It happened because it changed the how do I put it? It changed the ideology of football. It was now beyond football on the pitch. I don't know if you get me. Now, if you're going to talk about football-wise, I don't think any player in Liverpool would be on that list when you talk about football.
No.
I will rate hold on. I will rate Raheem Sterling.
Are you?
Mane will be on
that list.
Are you kidding?
Mane will be on the list, but he'll be number 5.
No.
See, I'm not.
Mane, there's Ronaldo.
Tunde, I'm not even going to mention Mane. I'm not going to mention Salah. I'm going to mention Alexander Trent-Arnold this season.
Thank you.
God bless you.
This season.
Now you're talking. I won't mention Mane this season.
Yes.
I'll mention Trent-Arnold this season. I'll mention Raheem Sterling this season. I'll mention De Bruyne this season. I'm going to mention Henderson this season. I'm telling you because if it's for football matters, many of those guys on that list wouldn't make it.
Yes,
so
understandably.
I believe that this award that was given was not a football matter award. It is way out of football. It was way out of football. They just had to include maybe one or two exceptional players who you cannot just rule them off being on that list.
Samuel has something to say.
Besides that,
I think the main bone of contention here should be what was the voting criteria actually for the award, because as we can see, it's not the statistics or the performance for the season. So what was the actual voting criteria for the award?
that I don't. But I feel that I don't know. But I feel, or I feel probably because of their humanitarian services, which would have added to this. Because for football reasons,
for three things that looks like it. Number one, the services that he performed or they performed during the pandemic, which during the season where it hit everybody hard. That one is number one. Number two is that he, in quotes, was a leader in that Liverpool team. You know, he probably organized one or two things here and there to keep the players going or to maybe check on his players. Number three thing that I can look at and think of is that he's the first Liverpool captain to bring the Premier League back to
after 30 years.
After
That's
30
nothing again you look at. Exactly.
That's what I think they look at, or saying he's the first Liverpool captain to lift not to bring, because he didn't do. I don't think he did anything to deserve this award, but he's the first Liverpool captain to lift the Premier League after 30 years. That's why those are the reasons that I can pinpoint and say, okay, maybe that's why he won it, and maybe that's why someone like Van Dijk, even though he's on the list, he's not the winner of it, because he's not the captain of the team. He was not the leader. He was bought just 2 years ago.
Tunde, see, I'm not. See, I understand what he's going to say, but I'm not going to agree to that, because, see.
Oh no, I don't agree to them giving him this. But
yes.
I'm saying that it just makes sense now as to why they
because
not that it is justified. It's not justified.
It's not justified.
So looking at,
they're just piecing 1, 2, 3 things.
Yes.
They're adding up things to make it to make
We're
sense.
trying to make sense of the whole.
Because right now, I'm trying to take.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm looking at list of previous winners, of past winners of this Football Writers Association Player of the Year. I'm looking at it. 2003, 2004. Arsenal did the unthinkable, which no other club has been able to replicate or try to do. We Liverpool tried, they saw what happened and they failed. Going unbeaten the entire season. Do you understand? Patrick Vieira was the captain of the team that year. Why didn't he win it? Do you understand? Thierry Henry was voted the Football Writers Association Player of the Year for that year, 2003-2004. Based on performance.
Football matters.
That's what I'm saying.
The one that, if you look at the winners in the past few years, it
Yeah.
has all been on football matters. It had all been rated. Everything was we are football line. When Mahrez was there, Salah, Hazard.
So why not stick to the script? Why not stick to the script? We know FIFA football player, FIFA awards. FIFA awards. Yes, I know. FIFA
changed the whole thing.
Yes.
COVID-19 happened.
That's what I'm saying. FIFA awards, they create special segments for things like this, humanitarian, whatever. Then why didn't they just create something? If you know you want to help his career, but for me, footballing wise,
for footballing reasons, nah.
Henderson does not even make my first 15.
They should have just made another.
He should have made another award and say, okay, humanitarian services of the year.
Yeah, you know.
Better.
Because for me,
making it football writers association.
Dr. Rashford. Because for me,
it's difficult to swallow, but we have to swallow it.
Yeah, because for me,
it's difficult to process, but you have to take it.
For me, the most outstanding player in Liverpool this season, and I'm going to say it any day, every day, 3 times on a Sunday, is Alexander Trent Arnold. Look at the impact. Look at the impact. Yes.
I can't do that.
So look at the impact. For me, I feel this takes a big shine off what that guy has done. The impact that guy has made this season. 13 assists and see the number of goals. Take all that off Liverpool's tally this season and see where it will put them. So I feel when these people come up with these awards, they just have to do their work diligently. You could come up with Another
Sorry,
segment.
just a little segue. Just thinking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. That kid literally gave Liverpool that Champions League with that game against Barcelona.
Yes, it
It
did.
was his brilliance.
Yes.
Look at what he has done this season. What he did, the assist against Manchester City, the way he wrecked Chelsea. Sorry, Mykah. The way he wrecked Arsenal.
Good.
Do you understand?
Home and away.
Yeah, the way he wrecked Arsenal in the first leg, though they lost because they were on the beach then because they won the league already. So I feel giving this kind of award, it takes the shine off the guys that have put in that effort, I know he came out to say he won the award for the team.
Some people that already worked for it.
Yeah. So because looking at his statistics, how many assists did he have this season? How many goals did he score this season?
What was his contribution?
What was his contribution?
Contribution football wise.
Yeah.
He didn't have up to 50%.
Well,
football. That's football.
Well, I hope
let's carry on with it.
I hope all players should just start getting ready for next season to do something, so that they can win the Football Writers Association Award as well. Do something off the pitch.
Come and give to Nigeria.
But we're still waiting for the main award, which is the Player of the Year. Player of the Year. Well, let's see who they're going to give for the season. I think Alexander-Arnold will make the I think they have a category for the younger Player of the Year.
Yeah, he definitely has to win the younger player.
He just has to. He has to.
But we have so many young. There's so many young players in that contention too. But Trent
Arnold. So Trent.
No.
I think does Robertson fall into that category?
Yeah.
Young player.
I think.
How old is Robertson?
I don't know. I'll have to check.
In 3 or 24.
No, he doesn't fall.
Okay.
He doesn't fall.
Then he doesn't fall. Then I'm looking at missing Mount. Those are young players who actually, but I'll give it to Trent.
Come on. He has been fantastic. He has been fantastic this season. Has been fantastic.
And you have Bukola Saka.
No. That one is just.
Oh, but the boy has been Arsenal this season.
Yeah.
You can't rule all these guys out. You can't rule them out. Well, I don't know.
You can't rule them out, but you can't put them on the same pedestal.
We are just giving our own winners, or we are pinpointing our own winners. But how about if the award comes out now and it's not Alexander who wins it? What will you say about it?
It will be so devastating.
It will be you can't give this award to there's
why
else.
Seriously,
there's almost no one else.
That's what you think.
One thing that you also see is that they try to give it to the young player. If he's not on the team that wins the EPL, he's up there. He has to be among the top 4, top 3, however they do their calculation.
Yeah. So
we're talking about
Trent.
You look at what we're saying. Trent Alexander-Arnold deserves to win the Player of the Year. Let's not even talk about the young.
Not the young player of the year. Yeah.
He deserved to win the Player of the Year. Now, for the young player category, there's no other person in that category that we can match up.
Can I remind you something?
What?
Newsflash. Henderson won FWA Award of the Year. Are you not still shocked about it? Bro, it's football. Anything can happen.
Well, true though.
Vote. Let's not forget that.
One is different from.
No, I think the Player of the Year is different from people don't vote.
Player. On young player award, no problem. But say Footballer of the Year award, let's rethink it.
No, do they vote for that?
Young player, he can. What chance do you? Team captains vote for it.
Don't lose, Chiamaka. Don't lose the point. The point is that there is no young player on the same level as Trent Alexander-Arnold. We're saying that if Trent Alexander-Arnold was in contention to win the Player of the Year award, then definitely, without a doubt, he would be the one. He should be the candidate to win the Young Player of the Year.
Uncontested.
There should be uncontested. There should be no one in that category.
That's our
because we're talking of this same guy who is good, equally as good enough to win the Player of the Year. If he's on that level, then no other young player is on that level.
You're right. Right. Left for me, if I was going to give anybody that, I'll give to Alexander Arnold. I don't have no problem with that. But man, it's football, and let's not forget, it's not just football; it's English football.
And
there are
it's-
things that happen
yeah,
behind
you know.
the scene that we cannot explain.
You know, when that voting,
that's my own point.
when that voting comes into it, it just
When
kills
it
it.
comes in, you'll be surprised that
So-
someone from nowhere.
So for me, the question is, why do they keep the starts? Because we know they keep starts every week, every month. That's what amounts to giving the award for Player of the Month, Coach of the Month. Do you understand? And I know Alexander Arnold this season has won Player of the Month a couple of times. So why don't they just make use of those starts to come up with whoever is the best player for the year of the entire season? Why do people still have to vote? Because the voting is, if I see someone that I don't like, because I'm human, they are human, and the person has been outstanding this season, I might decide to be unfair and pick whoever I want that has not been outstanding. Because that voting thing is not just in for me. I don't know.
The voting thing is the only thing that gives them, how do I put it, a little, I wouldn't call it 100% assurance. Why? Because they are giving people opinion. Their own, yeah, sure, you understand. So things like that. Like I was mentioning to Anthony during the course of the week that Eden Hazard was voted, or I don't know if they had to cancel out that vote. Chelsea players in England had to go and vote for Eden Hazard, who had just one goal of the season,
Imagine.
to win Real Madrid best player of the season. I want to understand that.
That's out.
That's the voting thing.
That's out.
So I think they
That's
have to
scandalous.
cancel that out.
He had zero contribution to them winning the
Winning the league.
He said it himself
Exactly.
that he did not have any contribution.
Exactly.
He said it
He
himself.
said so. He said so. He said so himself. But I was surprised. He had way more votes than both Karim Benzema. In fact, he had way more votes than Benzema and Ramos combined. I don't know if you get that.
Because
Actually,
look-
combine their votes.
Imagine.
Because also half of what Hazard had.
Looking at that,
I-
you don't even need any soothsayer to tell you that Ramos should be it. Player of the year.
There shouldn't even be like a vote for anything.
know.
Just give it to him and let him
Just
vote.
be giving. But they'll vote.
So moving
Players
on.
will vote. Let's not forget that.
You're moving on, just to round off the episode, the last episode for this season, EPL review. It's been a long year, 11 months, episode 24 for us, even if we didn't start when the league started. But there are a lot of ups and downs during the course, or there were a lot of ups and downs during the course of the season. Our favorite club, because we know we all have our favorite club. But I just want us to do something. Best moment. The best moment, the overall best moment that has ever happened or that is related, or something that happened related to your club this season. What is your top best moment for this season, 2019-2020 season? Samiat, you want to go first? Ladies first.
I can't think of anything right now. Oh, I can. Man City. I didn't expect us to win that match. I think, was it the first leg or the second leg?
That should have been
Which
the
one?
set. I think Manchester United won both legs now.
Yeah, we did, but
Yeah, one vote.
1-2-1. I can't remember. If
Yeah,
we were
the
home
first leg was at, I think, had 1-2-1.
2-1,
Second
yeah.
leg
Yeah, it was that one. Like going into the match, I didn't expect us. We had been on and off, and they just pulled that performance. So yeah, that was a good one.
Mykah, you want to go? You want to allow the Man United to go?
They should finish.
Oh,
Oh, we can also go back to when the season started. Yeah. There were a lot of talk about Ole and all of that. Then it comes in and it gives us Chelsea's head on the platter. That was a good one.
Samia, you just took my number. I was going to give you top 3. Number 1, easily, the signing of Bruno Fernandes.
Wow.
That was
Game changer.
easily sign of Bruno
Game
Fernandes.
changer.
Number 2, the McTominay's goal against Man City, second leg.
Yeah, that's second
Before
leg.
pandemic.
Yeah.
That was, I went wild at that goal. And number 3, 4-0 against Chelsea, beginning of season. What happened? No, that game, we're supposed to lose that game.
Next release.
That were supposed to lose that game easily. If you go, even if
And
you go
all of
back,
a sudden, it was
watch the highlight of that game, you will see that we just our goals were just ball was just entering next.
Yeah,
Ball
true.
was just entering next.
True.
Chelsea was doing all the play. Counter attack came back. You know, it was.
Kepa
it's
was
crazy,
showing them sign. Then they didn't believe. They didn't take note.
I have my own highlight too. Can I talk?
Yes, the floor.
Let's enjoy our friend now. Let us enjoy our moment.
Okay, well, yeah, well, no problem.
You have the
mine.
plan.
Okay, mine is just one, and the only one was where it actually mattered, and that was defeating Manchester United in the FA Cup.
Oh, jeez. That's
Actually,
it.
That's about the EPL.
No, we're talking about the EPL. Best moment.
No, I don't have any moments. No, I have no. Well, maybe one, and that was the game against Crystal Palace where Chelsea won 3-2.
Okay, that's after the
one game that
final.
actually- Yeah.
And nothing related to your club. That's just all. Or Chelsea.
That's just all. That's all.
Yeah,
That's for
they
this season.
had a mess season. They
And
had a mess season. It was just
It was just there, yeah.
Just there,
It's
yeah.
not the season that a Chelsea fan wants to. Actually, I don't want to replay this season again. I'm good at going to go and rewatch matches this season. No, I don't think. Probably I've done that for like 4 or 5 matches, but I don't think I want to go the whole season again. Nah. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, I think I can second that. Even Mourinho's worst season, terrible season with Chelsea was not compared to what they are now. Like this year, there was no signing. There was hoping that there was a lot of introductions from the youth team, and you just have to hope and pray that it's as good. Which I applaud. Not joking. I've said it on this podcast a few times. Like, I applaud what Lampard is doing because we saw traces of it from his Derby days. So I really applaud what he did this season and what he is doing. And there was no spectacular for me. I'm not a Chelsea fan, which makes it easier for me to say. I don't think Chelsea had a spectacular season.
Yeah, it was just
So
we just drove by the EPL.
So my top best moment for Arsenal. Arsenal, we have a lot of things that happen. We don't play at times, and something just happened. Other teams are playing, and we are celebrating. That's one good thing about Arsenal. We had a shitty season. Yeah, we had a shitty season this season, and my top best moment was when Watford defeated Liverpool and securing our unbeaten. Securing our unbeaten run, because really Liverpool looked like catching up with that record just for that blip that happened to them against Watford. And that's why I say at times Arsenal won't play and you see them jubilating concerning records. So I think for me that was just my top best moment for the season. But for the rest, it's been a poor season and bad season for Arsenal. We all wish this 2020 should just come and just go. And let's start the first 2020.
Let's start the new season first.
It's been nice doing this with you guys. This seems to be the last episode for the EPL review for the season 2019-2020 season. And it's been nice doing this with you guys, discussing football. I look up to Sundays where we do our recording for this podcast. And we hope next season, we hope to have a lot of changes that will come in, possibly do live video, live streaming. We hope so. And
tint our hair.
Yes, our predictions. We need to get ready for our predictions. So if you're going to be on the podcast,
those who don't have hair on their head, how they do it?
They will have to do something. They will have to do something. They will have to do something. Coming next season, we need to make it more interesting. Our predictions, especially predicting for games in the EPL. You lose, you have to forfeit something. You have to just do something for everybody. Because, sometimes everybody is not always on the podcast, but whoever is on the podcast and you make predictions, you just have to forfeit something. So, rounding off the podcast, we've got every good thing comes to an end, and we've come to the end of the podcast. Final episode for the season 2019-2020 season again. And it doesn't mean we won't still be having a podcast. Once in a while we'll have podcasts. There'll be some discussions, some topics we'll need to discuss, and we'll be back to do that.
Transfer Market Edition.
Yeah, Transfer Market Edition. We're going to come up with a couple of episodes, because it's not as if we're going until the beginning of next season. So, rounding off, Samiat, you want to start? After Samiat, Tunde, Chimamaka, and myself, then we end the podcast.
Oh, it has been a fantastic season, fantastic year. All of us just want this year to be over, but there has been some amazing moments. Football came back and brought smiles on all of our faces. It's sad that football is ending now, but we have to wait like 5 weeks to we can deal with it. Football will be back soon. It's been an amazing season, and see you guys soon on the transfer edition. Can't wait to be back on the podcast.
It's been real. I really, enjoy doing this with every one of you. Thank you guys for bringing me on board. It has been very, very interesting. Looking forward to games. Looking forward to the predictions that were made. Looking forward to talking about things that happened during the game. Those are things that happened to me personally since I joined this podcast. So, thank you guys for bringing me on board, and I hope to, continue with you with Footy Weeks as we move on to other aspects when we conclude this season today.
Well, where do I start from? Well, it's been awesome. Very awesome time with wonderful guys and lady. Football has been my everything. I joined these wonderful guys and it's all been awesome right from the first day. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to our banters and our straight out football, straight out analysis, straight out previews and reviews. It's just wonderful doing this, and I can't wait to come back for the transfer edition before we kickstart the new season. Thanks guys for joining us again. Love you guys so much.
Yes. Every good thing they say have an end. Yes, it might have an end, but it's not totally coming to an end. We're still going to come back, discuss other things, like I said. But it's been nice doing this. When Footy Week podcast started, we didn't see it going this far. We never thought it was going to go this far. We thought it was going to be a play thing, and now see it's becoming serious. Episode 24, season 2019-2020 season. We don't know how many episodes we're going to do next season, and we pray God in His infinite mercy keeps everyone alive, in good health, in good shape. We'll come back with our voice to come and discuss football, which we all love. I really want to appreciate you guys. Tunde, Samiat, the only lady in the block. I appreciate you for your analysis. Chimamaka, you joined us, and already you joined us not too long ago.
He's the Bruno Fernandez of the podcast.
Yeah, not too long ago, and you've added value. You've added your analysis, your passion. Really good. And Tunde, all the way from US of A, Atlanta, Georgia. We really appreciate you. We hope we do this next season and more, and sign a mega deal, and we'll become known worldwide. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
And to Doka,
We're getting there.
and to Doka and Chibuzo, they're still part of us. It's just that they have other business to deal with. We hope they'll join us fully next season. So from me to everyone, I want to say thank you, stay blessed, and have a lovely week. Bye from me. Bye.